Hello and welcome to the incredibly influential and highly successful podcast. My name is Kael. I'm incredibly influential.
My name is Danny, and I'm highly successful.
Today is Wednesday, the 28th of August. I almost said October. I don't know why, as we're recording this. Um, and if you've been listening to the show for our entire runtime, since we started, you may remember that about 2 years ago, on our 20th episode, we did an entire episode where I was not allowed to swear or complain. Um, that episode came out on what was it? September the 6th of 2022, and this episode will be coming out on September the 3rd. So basically, the 2 year anniversary. And so I've decided to challenge myself to do it again. And yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. It's been 2 years since I've had to do an episode like this. It's been 2 years and 101 episodes since I've had to do an episode like this. So I think I can do it. I think I have enough positivity and love and friendship in my heart that I can do another episode without any complaining or any bad words. Do you think I can do it, Danny?
No.
Well, uh, I respect your opinion,
Yeah, I'm sure you
and
do.
I'm gonna try and prove you wrong by being as positive and upbeat as possible.
Mm.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be very positive and think positive thoughts and be kind and courteous with my words and actions. And and
Uh-huh.
dag nabbit, we're gonna have a heck of a good time. Don't you agree, Danny?
For sure, man.
I'm so
Let's
just gosh darn excited
see.
for this week to come and all the good things that are happening in my life. You know, I'm just so excited about them, I've got I've got a new roommate. You might hear him in the background. He's making dinner. Um
Hmm.
I'm looking to make sure. Okay. Yeah, he's got everything. He's making dinner. Um and you know, we've got food in the house. We've got uh weather that is nice. Um yep. I was gonna say something that might have been a complaint, but we're not doing that. We're not doing that today. No, we're doing positivity. That's what we're doing. We're doing, and it's nice and sunny out there. It's nice and warm. You don't got to worry about being cold. Um um give me some topics here, old Danny boy, all my bestest bud.
Well, for me, I think that school just started for me. It might have started a week ago for you.
Yep, it started last Monday.
Yeah, my school started this Monday. How exciting. Any news for school from you? I have a little bit of stuff about my stuff, but
Well, I already have a paper due on Friday night, which I'm really super excited about, and it's in a for a teacher I've never had before, and I've never done this type of assignment before, so there's a lot of uncertainty there, and that's just another way to learn something new and try a new experience. Nothing wrong with a little uncertainty at all. Nothing wrong with that.
Hmm. Yes, yes, yes. That's good, I suppose. What class is it for? Did you
It is
say?
for psychology research methods.
Psychology research methods. Um, interesting, interesting. For me, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, just making sure. My line looks a little low there.
you're you're a little quiet, but it's easier if you're a little quiet. Um, uh, and I can just fix it right on up later. So just don't even worry about it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Sometimes we have issues here, but for me, three of my classes are basics, so there's not really much to talk about there. But I did start my first semester at university,
Well, that's just
and
magnificent. Great job.
yes, and I only have one class at the university. My other classes are at my community college, so I can kind of save a little bit of money. But my one class at university is one that is for my degree, so I'm real excited about that because it'll be my first actual like course that's going towards my actual major. And the course is it's computing for engineering, but it's a programming class where I'm learning how to program and like the engineering software that they gave us. It's apparently like a programming software that's more catered to like using with algorithms and formulas and all that. So it should be pretty cool.
I wonder what that notification was there, Danster.
I'm quite a popular guy. I could check
I wonder what that
just to
might
see.
be.
Oh, I got a Zell. I love when I get a Zell. Okay. So where was I?
Wow, they're not going to say anything about the Zell? I don't know. The guy who sent you that must be pretty cool.
I think anybody who sends me money is, on my good side. But I don't like to, discuss my financial happenings too often.
I
But
I mean, well, you don't talk about it too often, but I feel like this is a time where you could make an exception. I feel like this is
well,
a
there's a lot
pretty.
of things I could cover if we talk about financial stuff. But again, I just don't know if people need to know my coming and goings financially. I have a job. I get money that way. I have a couple of other revenue sources, but it's all good. The point is I'm doing pretty well off for myself, but not too well off to like be a target. So just remember that out there if you're listening. Anyways, so where was I with this whole school thing? Oh yes, so it is a programming class. I have gone into class. What's it called Monday, and then went today, which today is Wednesday. And they're giving us like some basic kind of like very introductory uh you know coding class type of stuff, right? Like the buttons, the features, basic code that we were running, right?
That sounds extremely interesting.
I
I would
think,
love to hear more in great detail.
well, I could go over like the whole class and like things that we did in the class like regarding that, but again, it's very basic. It's not too interesting yet. I'm hoping it'll get more interesting later. There is a like a gathering of student orgs in the engineering college, in the engineering building at my college. uh and I'm gonna go there tomorrow in the morning, look at the student orgs, and they offered some extra credit for people that wanted to go as well. So not only do I get to look at student orgs, see if there's anything that I want to be a part of, I can also get a couple bonus points as well. So even if I don't find anything, at least I get bonus points. So it's a win-win either way. So that's pretty exciting. The professor also was talking about this group project that we're going to have over the course of the semester, where we get to choose one of, I think, five different topics that she's picked out. We're going to get paired off in like groups depending on which topic we have interest in, and then we're going to make an app. So by the end of the semester, I guess I'll you know be proficient enough to make an app. So that should
That
be
sounds
exciting.
that sounds extremely interesting, and even though it's not really connected to your major, it sounds like a very useful skill to have.
Well, I think that the whole idea of this programming class right now is to learn how to use the computer in order to, import data and to make algorithms, solve complex problems that way, right? Because that's kind of the whole thing, right? You have all these variables, you insert them into the your code, and then the code will calculate all the things in order to spit out like an answer for you, right? It's kind of like how calculators have like their special features, right? Already programmed to the calculator, right? It's kind of like you're coding like special solutions to specific problems, right? So if I have a problem where I'm like, oh, I want to get this answer based off of this data, uh, I can just make a code for it. And then if I want to change like the input variables, I can use the same code for it and it'll just pop out the new answer, right? It seems pretty interesting. Obviously, I'm still very early on, so I'm sure there's much, much more the program can do. Also, I believe this is a freshman level course for this program, so there will be higher level courses for this program later on where I can probably do even more advanced things. There'll be more features. For right now though, it's like a freshman class, even though technically I am like a sophomore, junior kinda. But that's because what I've been doing the last couple years has been only basics. This is like my first year at university. That's why it's a freshman course.
Mm-hmm. And you have to start somewhere. So I'm glad you're taking your first steps into achieving your goals and learning these skills.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I'm really interested to be a part of the on-campus activities a little bit more as well. I've kind of talked about it before, but I still have like some transportation things I'm trying to figure out. I've been looking at websites for cars. Right now I've been borrowing my brother's car and getting dropped off by him, and that's a nice temporary solution that I'm thankful to have. But once I'm able to get my own car and I sign up for a parking pass, I'm hoping to actually, park my car at the campus, and maybe like after class I can kind of walk around, look at the different buildings. Maybe if I want to go to the library one day, maybe if I want to go to the rec center one day. I do want to explore more the campus has to offer, and I feel like the student orgs is like a good way to kind of dip my toe into that, right? See what the student orgs have, meet new people that are have similar interests, similar majors. Just network some more. Uh, because even if like I just meet like one or two people, that's still more people than I knew before, right? So lots that I want to do, but for right now, while I still have some transportation issues, I'm trying my best to just get to class, which I've succeeded so far. So
And that's honestly a very good goal. Just to make sure that you're getting what you need done is a good goal to have, and there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, and for my job and all that, I've been what's it called? I've been trying my best to put in like accommodations for my class stuff, and by this time next week, I should have the accommodation already accepted, hopefully. That way I could have my Mondays off. That way I don't have to worry about the potential conflict there for work and school. I saw I'll only be working 3 days instead of 4 days. I'll be working Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, but it'll work a lot better. That way I can still get my 30 hours of work, potentially more, if I decide to pick up shifts and stuff, but 30 hours of work at minimum, and then I can still have my classes. with no conflicts, and I'll have 3 other days, you know, that I can do homework and other things as well. I think 3 days on, 4 days off is going to be a good balance since I'm trying to do a full course load of classes. So I think it'll work out.
Giving yourself an amount of time to be able to succeed and making sure that you're not overstretching yourself really is a great strategy. That's so smart of you to give yourself that kind of schedule. I'm so proud of you.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I try my best here. I don't. Uh, it's small, but it's something. That's what matters. But what about you, Kel? I feel like that's kind of been like my experience with class and my upcoming things that I'm doing for it and with it. But that's I feel like for right now that's I'm still waiting for more to happen. I'll keep you up to date. But what about you?
Well, uh, I have recently become a landlord slash roommate yet again, which is certainly fun, and I enjoy getting that little extra bit of income. It's certainly nice, and uh 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 give me a second. Just give me a second.
You're kind of dying over there a little bit. You gotta work on that.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Did you stub your toe or something? You
No,
good?
no, it's nope, nothing's wrong. I'm great. I'm awesome.
I'm sure you are. Okay, let
Ugh.
me.
No, I can do it. 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 Um, and school is working really well. I don't have any schedule issues. Um, and I'm not having any problems with that. And I'm really enjoying it. And I'm so happy about it. And I really love it. There's nothing I would change at all about my school or my schedule or about the work that I'm getting or about the work outside of school that I'm getting. I would not change any of that. Okay, let's move on to your topic. Let's move on.
um. Well, there's not really a ton going on right now. Like I said, I do volleyball. I was planning on doing it today, but we had some issues with my brother's car. He and I went to go get food. His car didn't start. Thankfully, we figured it out, but I had to cancel the volleyball thing that I had planned. Um, Besides that, I have my cousin. He is going away to the military pretty soon.
What
He's
branch?
he's going into the Marines.
Oh, that's cool.
And this Saturday, I'm gonna drive over, and where he's gonna have like a little going away kind of party.
Is this the cousin that we hung out with at the I guess the celebration of life, if you want to call it that?
Um, at the restaurant, no, this is that's a different cousin. I'm not sure if you met this cousin.
Probably not.
Um, he lives like about an hour away, so it's not a great drive. Granted, that cousin that you hung out with lives like 3 hours away.
Yeah, he's up in DFW, right?
Like Dallas kind of area.
Yeah, DFW. Yep.
Yeah, it's but the thing about him though is he travels for work, so he's a little hard to pin down sometimes. But this cousin I'm talking about lives south, closer to like the Galveston area. Not all the way down there in the Galveston area, but closer to the Galveston area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm going to work Saturday. After work, I'm gonna come home, get ready real quick, drive over there, hang out with him for a little bit, party, have fun, all that sort of stuff. It should be pretty exciting. and I'm excited for him to, go to the military. I'm sure they're all excited.
And that'll give you a great opportunity to head to areas of the city that you normally don't go to anymore.
Um, I suppose, like, I would like to kind of like explore kind of more areas that I haven't been to as much. It's just that Houston is so big and things are so far apart that it's like it's not very fun driving. I don't mind driving sometimes, but I just don't like traffic. Traffic is always the worst, and parking is especially the worst if you ever try to find parking in any sort of city. That's why I try my best to not go just for no reason. If I have a reason, I'll go. But if there's not a reason to go, I just would rather not.
Uh, well, I wouldn't say it's the worst. I would say it provides an interesting challenge.
But the good thing is he lives kind of. He doesn't live downtown. He lives, I would say, a little farther away from the city. So the driving shouldn't be as bad. But again, the farther away from the city you go, the more driving it is because things are real spread. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that party, that little farewell party, and um, I don't know. I'm kind of just making little progress on everything. There's not really any big news right now. Like I'm still trying to get the car. I kind of mentioned that earlier. I'm still trying to pack up little by little to move out. Working on the school thing, working on saving. Uh, I have a decent amount of savings, which should make the car thing good, and that should make the moving out thing good.
What
There's
kind of
still
car are
just
you looking for?
Well, I'm trying my best to like ask a lot of people. Maybe you can weigh in on this too since you're here. Um, for me, like what's most important is just the car is going to be really solid. It's gonna be long lasting. Get me from A to B, preferably good mileage and things like that as well. But I'm not too picky on the specifics, right? I've heard some people suggest certain brands to me and like tell me certain brands that I shouldn't go with. I've heard that like what's it called? Like Honda is pretty solid. Toyota is pretty solid. I've heard that Nissan I probably should avoid. Things like that. But it's there's a lot of options, and I'm a little in the dark. So what's your thoughts on that? You have any car knowledge you wish to bestow?
I think all cars are equally valid, and anything that you can reasonably obtain that will get you from point A to point B is great. And it'll just be good that you have something that you didn't have before.
That's the unfortunate part about that is that's not very helpful. Uh, but I
Remember,
suppose what
this
you can
is the
say.
no negativity and no swearing episode. So,
Uh,
gotta be positive.
I suppose, but I feel like you kind of missed the point a little bit, but that's okay.
I think
Anyways,
all vehicles are equally valid, and there's no cars that are really terrible and that you should avoid with a 10-foot pole. Nothing like that, not at all.
yeah, but I've been looking at like dealerships. I've been looking at like CarMax, Carvana. I've been looking at a couple different places, more local, more not local, just to see what they have. I probably am going to get with one of my uncles or my grandma, maybe somebody who knows a tiny bit more about cars than I do. That way I can like look at all the different search results that I found. That way they can tell me their thoughts on the cars, like, oh, that one's one that you should look into more, that one's one that's not worth looking into. Because right now I have a list of cars from all my various searches, because I'm trying my best. Right now, I'm just filtering by price and by mileage. Those are, I feel like, the two big things that I'm looking for right now. Also, obviously, no accident history. That's something that's I feel like really important to me. But if I can find something with good mileage, a good price, and no accident history, uh, I'll give it to them for a review, and if they say, that seems like a pretty solid car, then maybe I'll get it. I don't want to rush it though, because last time I rushed my first car purchase. Um, I thought that I had a little bit more help, from people. Obviously not. So I'm just want to double, triple, quadruple check if at all possible. That way, um, there's no way that could happen again. But yeah, like it's a process, and I just got to make sure I'm able to schedule that with them. So hopefully sooner than later, though. That's what matters. Hopefully sooner than later.
I think that's a great idea, and I believe you'll be able to secure a great vehicle that will be able to serve you for the next significant period of your life.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. And I got my credit score a month or two ago. I started my credit history earlier this year. It took a while to get my score, but I have a pretty decent credit score. Granted, I don't have tons of lines of credits, so I'm still trying to build that up a little bit as well. But
What is
from
it?
credit, I can tell you. I think it's 740.
Oh, that's actually good. That's pretty solid. Yeah.
Dang! As soon as I touch my phone, this wants to ding all over. But yeah, 740. Um, which it's decent, but it says that the reason why it's not higher than that is because I don't have a ton of lines of credit. I only have one line of credit, and it's only been active for less than a year. So obviously, as I build more history, and I get more accounts, I think it'll go up. But I feel like 740 is a good starting point.
Yeah. Does it say you're pre-selected to buy a house?
I think. Let me see. I
Because I think
have
we
it on.
bank with the same people. It tells me that if I wanted to get a loan, um, if I wanted to get a mortgage, I would be pre-selected for up to a certain amount.
Well, I look at it. It just says FICO credit scorecard. Gives me all my credit score
Oh, are
information. It
you not
doesn't.
going through your bank?
I have two banks, so maybe you're talking about a different bank.
Yeah.
Um,
When I bank on Chase, it tells me based on my credit score if I'm pre-selected to get a mortgage from them.
I haven't tried to check my credit score through Chase.
It should be the same thing. It's Experian. So if you've got an Experian credit score thing on the other thing, then it should be the exact same. You know. But yeah, I'm around there too. That's a good score. It's realistic. What you'll find um is that a lot of things will be like if you're too high, they will reject that because it's like okay, you've obviously never had any debt. Um uh we don't we can't give you this, right? But like 730, 740, 750 in the 700s, high 600s, low um even up to like the low 800s is like a pretty solid score. um and it's like realistic, right? If you're above like 805, a lot of things will reject you. But yeah, 740 is pretty good.
You
That's
don't
yeah.
think you don't think higher is better? That's not how it works.
There's such a thing as too high when it starts being suspicious. Um Obviously you don't want to be lower than like 650, right? That's when it starts to be kind of an issue.
In my eyes, I feel like
Too high is better than too low, but
if you have a lot of history, right, and your score is high, it's fine. I feel like it's if it's low history and the score is high, then it might look a little
yeah, that's why I gave
inflated.
you that advice. Is that you and I both have pretty low history when it comes to credit. So if we
Oh,
were higher, it would look really weird. But where we're at right now is good.
I can.
Like
There's a
genuinely,
lot more
genuinely pretty good.
tabs when I look through Chase now that I'm looking at it. Oh, is it offers? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pre-approved for a lot of things. It looks like.
and that's isn't that lovely? Isn't it lovely what paying your debts can open up you to? You know, it can open a lot of doors for you.
Yeah, and apparently on here, my credit score is 742. I
And
guess
I
my
think
FICO score and my experience score are 2 point difference for some reason.
and that's okay. That's okay. And
I
I think we should go to the ad break to financially better ourselves and to promote some good businesses. This podcast is sponsored by Amanda Redwine, your no nonsense talk therapist and parent coach. Serving individuals and couples in both Illinois and Florida for counseling/therapy, as well as worldwide for parent coaching. Amanda's specialty is working with teens and young adults, as well as their family systems. Amanda has extensive experience working with youth who identify on the LGBTQIA+ spectrum. She has also done couples work based on a foundation of the Gottman method. She brings a light, no nonsense approach to treatment that is approachable and empathetic. She is unflappable and makes her clients comfortable from the very beginning. Find out more at www.amandaredwine.com. That's AMANDAREDWINE.com. Thank you again for sponsoring this episode, and back to the show. All right, everyone, welcome back to the show. Um, still doing the challenge. Um,
Oh
it's
dang, I forgot about that.
it's about 2:40 a.m. on Sunday morning.
Yeah, not great for me, but
Just got back from the club.
yeah, me too, man.
Um, not gonna say
I
anything about it. Yeah.
No, you don't think so? Yeah, I had fun. We were dancing and we were drinking. I was with my family. Um, and now I'm just relaxing. I have some chocolate that I've been saving since my birthday, and I feel like now would be a perfect time to have a little bit of it.
Happy Labor Day weekend, by the way.
Oh yeah, happy Labor Day weekend. Too bad I don't get the day off of work. I get extra, pay, but I don't get the day off, which is sad.
I mean, you know what? Hey, sucks to suck. You know.
The good thing is I get school off, so I guess that's something to look forward to.
Um. Oh wait, I said sucks to suck. That's kind of negative. Whatever.
I
Fuck it.
look
I fucking fuck this challenge.
I think that, like the first half you were pretty good. The second half, I know that I am not going to be paying that much attention. If you want to, that's up to you, man.
I'm it is 2:40 a.m.
That's right.
And I just got back from the club. My fucking ears are ringing. I'm sweaty as balls.
You see, I was dancing, but I was dancing on like the exterior part of like the
I don't
bar
dance.
slash club. And the exterior was like a lot quieter because the inside like was I was in there for a bit. It was fun. I rode a mechanical bull. That was exciting.
I got a
Um,
video of my roommate on a mechanical bull
I'm
on
hoping
Friday
that I
night.
can I'm hoping that I can get that video from my family and I can post it. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't do very well. I was gonna go back and do it again, but we got distracted.
My roommate was going to as well, but some bitch broke it.
Some bitch broke it. How dare she?
Yeah. She was trying to reverse cowgirl that shit, you know what I mean?
Oof, that's not the technique.
It's not the technique,
Let
and
let
so
me
she
tell
busted
you,
it.
I've only done it one time. And it looks a lot easier than you think. But I need to go and try it again with some new strategies, and
Yeah.
maybe a little bit earlier in the night. I feel like earlier in the night I might have
A better
better
grip.
a better chance, because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like later in the night it gets a little hard to give 100%.
Yeah. I don't know. So I after dinner, I was
Hmm.
like, I'm gonna have some strawberry banana yogurt. I'm gonna take one Benadryl, so I don't die of anaphylaxis. Right?
Hmm.
And I didn't die of anaphylaxis, but that shit almost knocked me the fuck out. So before we left, we had some people over. We pre-gamed a little bit,
Hmm.
um, and I I had a Red Bull with no Jaeger, just a normal Red Bull, and
Yeah.
that Red Bull is wearing off right now. I'm so fucking dead right now. Ugh.
Y- You know, I had a few drinks throughout the night, but I think my first drink was vodka Red Bull.
Mm, not bad.
Um,
Not bad. What flavor Red Bull? Just the plain one, or
Probably just a plain one, yeah.
yeah.
The f-
It's better than it's growing on me. I prefer the blue one. I prefer the yellow one, but the plain one is growing on me, especially because they sell it in bulk. You
I'm
know.
not much of like a drink connoisseur yet. I kind of just ask my family friends what they like, and I just tried that. The vodka
Mm-hmm.
Red Bull was pretty good. I liked it, and then I had a shot of Patron,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had this
Blame it
drink
on
called
Patron. Got you in the zone. Blame it
this
on the
drink called an
alcohol.
adios.
Uh huh.
Adios.
That means
Uh,
goodbye.
yeah. Well, do you know what the drink is though? An adios.
Not off the top of my head, but I
All
feel
I
like death right
know,
now.
all I know is that it was like a tall glass instead of like one of the shorter glasses, and it had
Yeah.
6 different types of liquor in it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, a lot stronger than I thought, but it was nice and pretty in blue, and I was like, ooh, blue.
Yeah, it probably is blue curacao, but yeah, don't mix liquors. It's bad for you.
Well, they mix 6 into the same glass.
Yeah, that's bad. Mixing
Well,
liquors is bad.
it
That's
didn't taste. Well, it did taste kind of bad, but like I feel like it tasted bad in like the normal bad way, and not like an extra bad way, you know.
I mean, I guess.
And
If
then I
you're drinking
had,
shit that tastes bad, fucking don't, dude. I
well,
don't.
that's the thing, you know. You
Yeah,
gotta. I don't know what I like yet, so I gotta try a couple different things
you like
first.
fruity ass drinks because I like fruity ass drinks, and everybody likes fruity ass drinks, dude.
Well, who doesn't like fruity ass drinks? The
Anyone who
problem.
calls you gay for getting a fucking strawberry daiquiri is projecting, dude. Because fuck it, everybody likes strawberry daiquiri, man. Fuck it,
Oof. You know
everybody.
what? I gotta try that next time. That sounds good.
It's good as shit. I can probably fucking make you one, dog. Uh,
Well, you know, next year we should be getting together, right?
yes, we are. We're doing Alaska together. I'm so glad I'm doing it with you instead of
Oof.
Maxwell. I feel like Maxwell would be a huge fucking stick in the mud about this. Oh my
I,
god.
well, you know, I think that you and Maxwell can like kind of talk about it a little bit more. I think that
Nah,
maybe what it
he's a
is, right?
fucking stick in the mud, dude.
Yeah, but you have to understand, he has his opinions. He does, you don't need to agree on like certain things, but y'all can still be friends, you know?
I told him he's like if you had a friend who you used to like go to parties with, like all right, for example, right? If like one of the people I went to the club with tonight, right? I had a had a great time, right? We became friends. We did that like every weekend, right?
Yeah.
It's like if they after like 6 months of doing that, they became Mormon and like the
Well,
annoying preachy kind of Mormon.
yeah, see, that's what I was gonna say. I think that for me, right, Maxwell, he has all these new things that he's like interested in and advocating for, and I think that that's fine, right? But there's definitely like a level to it where if it becomes too preaching, it becomes like kind of like you're like kind of like how you said like signaling, right?
Yeah.
That's whenever it becomes a problem, right? Because let's say you became like vegan one day, right? But
Hmm.
you became the type of vegan that like shames people for eating meat, you
Yeah.
know?
Doesn't shut the fuck up. Goes to
Exactly.
fucking like PETA protests, shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, things like that. Now that's like the annoying type of vegan. But if you just became a vegan and you minded your business and it was just for you, that's different.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. And I feel like
Exactly.
sometimes Max does well, I haven't talked to him probably nearly as much as you have, but I feel like he could be the type of person that definitely like does that where he kind of like
He's preachy.
preachy a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe he tries to make you feel bad. And
Yeah.
I think it's good that like maybe he kind of challenges you and like makes you think a little bit, but sometimes it might come off a little bit more hostile or aggressive or like condescending or judgmental, you know?
The worst part is that he tries to fucking condescend me. I like this is not an exaggeration. I am the smartest person you will ever meet. You,
Well,
Maxwell, anyway. I am the greatest mind of this generation. That
I love your confidence, and maybe in some regards, you know, I could agree with you. But I think that that's the kind of the thing though, is that you're like specialized in your own brand of knowledge, right?
I don't think that's true. I
I
think
don't think that like in like a general smartness, I would say that you're like the absolute smartest, right? But maybe in like a specialized kind of knowledge,
I
you
would
could be the
say I'm a
smartest.
renaissance man. I'm dual majoring in two widely different areas, like wildly different areas.
Yeah.
I'm I've got a variety of interests in like a bunch of like different areas, right? You know, like name a field. I'm at least above average in like every single field because I think we all uh overestimate how intelligent the average person is. The average person is not very good at like most things, right?
It's here. It's kind of hard for me to understand what the average is, right? Because for me, whenever I was in like high school or like in grade school, right? Like the quote unquote regular class was very, very like disappointing. And if that's like the average, then that's a little sad, you
I mean,
know?
you grew up in a shit area, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I was always like top 10, 20%, right? But like,
Mhm.
if the average is like what my regular English class was senior year, that's a little depressing, you know?
I when I was in school, I literally in high school up until about senior year, I just did not do homework and I relied on how good I was at testing to coast by.
Yeah,
Like
testing was so easy in high school though.
there was a Spanish 2 class that I took in my public high school where uh there were like four projects and I think I did maybe one of them and I still passed with like a B plus because I was so good at testing. Oh my god, I have a story about this. Do you want to hear it? This is really funny.
Sure.
Um we were doing like so it was a test day, right? We were doing
Hmm.
a whole bunch of like review and stuff and like she was like, "All right, let's go over it one more time." And I'm like, "Oh." And she's like, "Okay, all right, smartass, go outside. I'll give you the test early." I'm like, "Okay." I did. I went out there. I got it. I got it back. In the next class, and I got a fucking A. I got a fucking A. I aced
You,
it.
you see, that's the great thing, right? I love whenever teachers challenge you and then they're wrong. Ooh, it's
I
the greatest feeling in the world.
Yeah. I don't like going at the pace of the average fucking Joe Schmo person because
Like
they don't know what
like
they're doing.
I remember this one time, me and my friend, the valedictorian, she was a valedictorian at the time, but like she eventually became a valedictorian. We were in a math class together, and we were
Mm-hmm.
arguing over some problem, and then I was right. You know what I mean? And I think, you know what? That's a valedictorian, but I bested her. At least once.
That's because you're only good at math.
I'm very good. You know,
You
I
are
don't.
the specialized one. It feels very funny for you to say that I'm the specialized one when you very much are very specialized in this
Some
one
people.
field.
Well, that's the thing, right? Some people are specialized in like only one field, and some people specialize in like a small variety, right? And some people are like very, very, like very wide range. I think you have a wide range, right? But I would say that in like a lot of areas, you're not like the most knowledgeable, right? You're like decently knowledgeable about a lot of things, and then like you're really knowledgeable about a few things.
I think if you took the cumulative knowledge that I have, like in the widest variety of areas, right? If there was a way to quantify that knowledge, if you tallied all that knowledge up, right, I would be one of the most knowledgeable people.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like how much it's hard to like grade people on something like that, right? Because in I feel like in everybody's opinion, some knowledge is more valuable than other knowledge. But if like we're going based off of like the only way that I think that we could quantify it that would be fair for every single subject, right? Is just the amount of like things you can remember, and whoever remembers the most things is the smartest person, right? But I don't think that And that makes sense either. So there's if there was a way to quantify it, maybe, but how do you quantify something that's so subjective? Like, what's the most important piece of knowledge to determine how smart somebody is, right?
I mean, I feel like uh well, have you ever heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect?
Maybe. What is it?
Are you familiar with it? Do you need a brief
You
explanation?
there, Kael?
Also, you cut out. I can't hear you.
Oh no. Did you die on
Hang
me?
on. Okay. Um
Oh,
I didn't hear your
damn it.
answer. Sorry, we're back.
Lost connection.
Dunning-Kruger effect. Do you know what that is?
Yikers.
Yes. So Dunning-Kruger effect is when you are a so Dunning-Kruger effect is when you uh uh are like learning about a subject. You start off with having low confidence, and then when you learn a little bit about the subject, you become very very confident, and then as you learn more, that confidence starts to go down again, because then you're like, oh shit, I didn't know how much left I had to learn. And then you keep learning until your confidence is back up again. But there's like this big hump around like 10-20% knowledge attained, right? But if they're able to measure how well you've attained a skill in order to describe a Dunning-Kruger effect, then there must be some quantifiable way to describe knowledge of certain subjects. And I think potentially, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. No. I was gonna say, could you tell me
You
what that
you don't
is?
have to use a hypothetical example. You just change WoW to fucking Star Wars, because I 100% could tell you like fucking everything. Have you ever seen that tweet where it's like, oh, I like that little guy, and it's like, oh, Ploon Scrooby. This guy likes Ploon Scrooby. I'm the
Mm.
guy who's like that, dude. That's me. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in a way, you kind of could, if you
But like
wanted
what
to,
I'm saying is
if
that
you
like
wanted
let's
to
say
use
you were
a
really
somewhat
knowledgeable in
objective
one
measure,
subject, right?
in the sense
And
that
I was
like
really knowledgeable in another subject.
if
Is
everybody's
there like a
subjective is like
subjective
averaged
reason
out,
why
that's
one
the
subject would
objective,
be
because there's
more
no
valuable in terms
objective
of like
anything.
what
No,
in terms of
no
like
human
intellect
can
than
be
another subject,
objective.
right?
we
Because
we
let's say
physically
you
just can't.
like were like
um
super knowledgeable on like all like the lore of like WoW or something stupid like that, right? And I was really knowledgeable.
yeah, I would say the best way to do that is, or I would say a very good way to do that is um income, right? Like how much are you making, right? Because that's what the market determines your value to be.
Versus like let's say like somebody else is really knowledgeable on like aerospace engineering, right?
I think we're
Like
placing the
both of y'all
value
are
of
both
knowledge
very
on the
very
market.
knowledgeable in your fields, right? And some people could argue that like one field is more useful than another field, but it's all subjective. There's no like real objective quantifiable way to like determine if one subject is more important like in like a knowledge sense than another subject.
Yeah.
Well, no, but like the whole point of like trying to be objective is like trying to like be as
Well, what is it
I guess
gaining you?
subjective, right?
What are some objective results of having this knowledge? What is it gaining you, really, or gaining society? Right? I think if you want to see the value of something subjective, you have to see the objective results of said thing, right?
Well, the thing is, are we basing knowledge off of the market, right? Are we like, because here's, well, yeah, the value of knowledge is different than the quality of knowledge, I think. And the quality of knowledge is the more subjective part that I'm trying to get to, right? Because sure, we can say, all right, well, you're talking about this subject. This subject is more financially, supported, or more not financially, like, I guess, just better, right? So therefore, it's the better knowledge source. And that's one way we could do it, I
Mm-hmm.
suppose, right? But I feel like not all knowledge is very
Well,
valuable,
that's
but
what
that
I
doesn't
was
mean that
saying.
it's not, like, it's
Just
like
because
worthless,
all
right? I feel like it
information
still has a
has
lot of, like,
to
subjective kind of, not
um
not subjective, but it has a
all
lot of,
five of our
like,
senses, for
I
example,
guess, less
right?
monetary value, more
We
like,
I'm in a class for this right now. I'm in a
uh
perception class
I
with
don't
one of my
know,
favorite
like,
professors actually.
what's a good way to,
Um and it goes from, like, say you see something, right? Your left eye, if you see something in your left eye, right? Um say like I'm looking at the mouse cursor, right? That image, the light from that image goes into my eye, in
like, the thing
through
is,
the
every time you do
neurons
that
that
though,
connect
you
my eye
kind of,
into my
like,
brain. It goes into the
add lots of
thalamus, where it switches
kind of, like,
sides
it
through the
basically,
corpus
I
callosum
guess,
into
rules to
the
determine
right side of my occipital lobe, which is
something's,
all the way on the other side of
like,
my head,
subjective rules
right?
to
Like, it
support
has
the
to go through
objective
all that
thing,
brain. There's
which is
all
why,
sorts of
like,
like
I'm kind of
wiring
seeing
and
what you're saying a little bit,
translation
where it's
that
like,
needs to be done there,
it's
right?
hard to really be
And
objective
so
when
there's a lot of
a
things
lot
we're
of
not
things
seeing, right?
that
Our visible
you're
light
trying to,
spectrum is very,
like,
very narrow.
all the
We
rules of
can only
everything are
see
subjective. We made
a
up
certain few certain
this, we made up
wavelengths, right?
that,
If we could
right?
see more, it would be,
We
much
make
more
up
objective, because
everything,
we
so
would be
how
able to
can
see things that we're
anything
not
be
seeing right now.
objective?
Infrared, ultraviolet, that sort of thing, right? But we can't see that, so we're only seeing the visible light spectrum. Um, and so that's a big thing. But like, all of our senses have to go through the thalamus, other than smell. Smell goes through a different path, but
Hmm.
like, all of our senses have to go into this thalamus. The thalamus has to translate all of it into different things, right? So it's like, all of our perception is colored by what our brains are physically capable of perceiving, or of perceiving, right? um and we were talking about this in a different class, right? Like, we have a limited cognitive capacity, right? Our brains are a certain size; they have to fit within our skull, right? There's no infinite information that can be fit in there, so we have to do the best with what we have for rationality and for
Hmm.
perception, right? Like, we're not going to be uh it would take like millions of years of evolution before we're able to see into the UV spectrum or the infrared spectrum, or like hearing on the same level as like dogs are, right? They can hear in the much higher wavelengths, you know? And it's, yeah. So it would take millions of years of evolution for that, and uh honestly, I don't think there's any pressure on that for us to go that way. So it's just sort of like whatever. But like, yeah, you gotta look at it like, in terms of, we only have a certain amount of like capability, so all of our understanding of the world is based on what our brains can physically comprehend. And that's an interesting part of psychology. It's why I'm into this field, because it's very interesting to be like, hey, this is what we can understand. This is all that. I find that very interesting. I feel like it's also very interesting to be like, okay, this is, we have this axiom, right, where it's like, okay, this is what we can understand. Where do we
Hmm.
go from here, right? Like, how do we cope with that? How do we make decisions based on not knowing all the facts? And I think that's very interesting. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there is no like objectivity. There's as best we can do. You know what I mean? Yes. And
Mm-hmm.
parameters are so hard to obtain. Like any any scientist will tell you that getting an actual parameter is nigh fucking impossible. Like if you knew a parameter, right? Like you would be like the most valuable person, right? If you truly knew a parameter, you would be like on the level of God. If you knew every single thing about every single possible result for any one thing, you'd basically be a god, right? Like, have you ever heard like the subreddit God tier superpowers? Well, it's a subreddit, and people suggest like God tier superpowers, right? And knowing parameters for making, like, if you were going to make a decision based on a statistic and you had the power to know what the parameter was, you would be a living god. You would unironically be god.
Yeah,
that
I see
that's
what you're
that's
saying. I
close
think
enough to
that
omniscience
like
to where
in
it
order to
like doesn't
determine
matter.
anything
If you
objectively,
always
we
knew the
have to like
parameter instead of
subjectively
the
kind of like
statistic,
give it
you would be
parameters to like work
as
in,
close to
you know?
God as might be physically possible in the universe. And even then, our brains aren't big enough to handle all of that information. We only ever estimate parameters pretty much. So yeah, but I think it's very interesting to just be like, we set up these rules, these guidelines for objectivity, and we just we have to go from there. But we were talking about this in my in a third class. We were talking about like how do we we know that we're not going to be fully objective. How do we uh take
Hmm.
that assumption? How do we cope with it? And I think the answers to that are very fascinating, but I'm not going to do all the explaining for you. So if you want to learn more, go take a
I
fucking
don't
STEM
believe
class.
so. Hmm.
Yeah, and that's how it should be.
Hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like that's kind of like what I'm noticing a little bit more in my classes as well. Is like the more I learn about a subject, the more I'm like
Yeah, that's
excited to
that's a good
like
point. Yeah, yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like see just how
That's
much
how it
I
was
don't
with
know,
me for
and see how
psychology.
like
Yeah, I took AP Psych in
broad
high
the
school,
field can really be,
and
right?
yeah, Mr. Holden, shout out Mr. Holden. I sent him a
Because
thank you
it's like one of
email,
those things
and he
where
never got back
like
to me, which is sad.
let's say you
Yeah, definitely.
would like innately have a
But yeah,
passion
I
for
don't know. Honestly, I
um
discovered
like 3D
fucking
modeling,
psychology.
right?
Like,
But
like
you
like
never got
I
introduced to
knew
3D
about it.
modeling
I knew it
until
was like
you
kind of
were like
interesting. I'd read
22,
articles, shit
right?
like that.
Like
But
you would
yeah, when
never
I got
know
into high
just
school,
how
I
much
really
you
got into it.
didn't
But yeah,
know
like I
that
I don't
you
know.
would
I get what you
like
mean when you
until
get like
that
something that
moment,
like
right? And
expands your
then
horizons.
it
You know what I mean?
unlocks like this whole
Yeah.
new like
I don't
level
know,
of
but yeah,
interest, understanding,
it's I'm so
right?
fucking tired. I feel like I'm
You
talking
see
in
what I mean, right?
circles
And
more than I
that's
usually
kind of
do.
like something that I notice whenever I talk to
Fuck,
people
me
too,
too.
right? Is that people don't know what they want to do. It's because they've never been, I think, exposed
Me
to
fucking too,
the
dude.
thing that one thing that
This is
they
dangerous, but I'm
potentially
already
just
cutting
could
out the lights in
resonate
my kitchen,
inside
dude.
them, you know?
I
Like for me, and
it's
whenever I
it's
was in high
happening.
school,
It's happening.
I did like 3D modeling, I did like engineering concepts, right? And then like it kind of like unlocked like like
Yeah.
an
I
interest
I almost
that
always
kind
have
of
my eyes closed when I'm
made me
like
want to
talking on a
like,
podcast. Is that
you know.
weird? I maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I just almost always do. I feel really weird that I do that. It's crazy. Yeah. Um. Oh man. Ugh. But yeah, I feel miserable. Absolutely miserable. So, um, I would like to reiterate that there is only one episode of the show that is not
Oh,
explicit
I'm tired too,
because
man.
when we
I'm
came
gonna be
back after the ad break,
miserable
I swear to God, I
tomorrow, and
definitely said a swear word.
I
Um,
just need to make sure when
I
we
don't know,
wrap this
man.
up, I'm gonna head
Uh,
straight to bed.
I yeah.
Well, I'm laying
I
like
mean,
180
we'll
degrees
see how we feel
reclined with
in
my eyes
101
closed,
episodes.
my hands behind my head, so I'm.
Yeah, in another 2 years, we'll see how we feel. But I
I
mean,
don't know. I
I
feel
don't
like
know if it wasn't
it's
3
easier to
a.m.
kind of get like focus on like the
at
words,
on
because
fucking
your eyes
Sunday
aren't, I guess,
night
distracted.
or Sunday morning, um, and I'm dead tired. Just got out of the club, ears still fucking ringing. Like I'm sure I could be
No,
a
it
lot
makes
more
sense.
positive,
I think
but
that
right
there's
now,
definitely something to that.
I don't
Turning
know,
off one of your
man.
senses
I
kind
don't
of enhance the
fucking
other
yeah.
ones.
All right, I have a big red button though. This is a good big red button. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Okay, this is gonna be amazing. Are you? I'm actually really proud of this one. Holy shit, dude. Um, so if you press this button, every ride share you get is free, and you never have to share it with anyone. But the driver makes silent,
Yeah,
uninterrupted eye
but
contact with
you really
you
gave it
the
a good try
whole
though.
time.
I think that maybe the gimmick.
Uber,
I think it's
Lyft,
the one time was good.
whatever it
I think
is,
that
yeah.
maybe we don't revive this one again.
Um, it's free. It is completely free.
I suppose.
And you never have to share. You never have to get one of those like Uber pools or whatever Lyft calls it, right? You never have to get one of those. But silent, uninterrupted eye contact with you the whole time.
Hmm.
No, 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 no. Not in the rearview mirror. Homie is stretched his neck. He's craned his neck around. No, not like The Exorcist, but like he's like
Mm,
looking back in the back
yes.
seat at
Yeah.
you, one hand on the steering wheel, just looking back at you the whole time.
Hmm.
Um, no, I will add. There's no increased risk of crashing.
Okay. Rideshare is like just one of those like, yeah. Uh,
All right, hear me out though, right? Hear
and
me out though,
what
right?
are the specifics of like the thing again?
Ubers are expensive. Dude, Ubering to and from the hotel from your house, uh fucking really expensive. Really, really, really expensive. Um it's
It's like
true.
I'm telling you, like that would be like incredibly weird. Like if I just
Yeah,
looked
but
at like
you
the
drink
rearview
more than
mirror
I
and they
do.
don't have their eyes on the road a single time.
You do. Don't try and
No, not the rearview.
this is the funniest thing. I texted you literally while I was at
Like
the
the
club. I was like,
Exorcist.
you know,
Oh
you give
no.
me shit all the time about how I'm an alcoholic. You drink more than I do. Since I got back to St. Martin, I had one drink on Friday night, and then I had um
No, see, like in the rear view
three
mirror,
quarters
I
of a
would have considered it,
Liney's,
but I don't. I think that that's like some
and two and a
demonic
half
stuff's going on right
bushes,
there. I don't want to
bush
be involved in
lights
that.
at the fucking club, and that's it. You know, like I
No, I
you
I
drink
get
more than I
that, but
do.
like I
Granted,
just
I
don't. I
drank a
wouldn't
lot
feel.
in
I
St.
would feel very
Martin,
uneasy.
but
Like if it was in the rear view
you
mirror, I
know,
feel like I could probably get over it. But like them just like head turned directly at you, that's I can't handle that.
but the
No,
frequency is more often.
I
I guess I don't know.
yeah, but for me at least, Uber is one of those things that is very. It's supposed to be very infrequent, right? So
Hmm.
whenever it's expensive, like you kind of just deal with it, right? The only I well, I don't. Let me see what the.
I mean, I guess. Fucking, I don't know. Counterpoint. Um. Uh. Even though I have like a bunch of like free liquor at home, right? Like I
Well,
did not have to pay for
I
almost
told
any
you
of
what I had
this,
for tonight.
right?
I feel like it
Almost
wasn't
any of the liquor I have
too
at home, I did not have to
much.
pay for, and I still don't drink it.
The
Uh,
frequency
even
isn't
with my
super
friend,
often
even
though. It's
with
still
like
pretty
anything. But
infrequent. The
um,
problem is that
I will
there's
say
just a
next
high
week is going to
density
be
of
pretty
like
fucking
social
packed
gatherings
because a
happening
week
in the
from
last month
yesterday, uh,
because my
they're doing
family
like
is like
a
birthdays are like very
big
very
like
packed
party
for
thing
like
at the club where we were just at.
August to
So
like
they're doing like
January,
foam night, and that's gonna be cool.
right? So
And
August all the way to January
then
is like the
the
dense
day after my birthday is kind of
parties,
like
right?
a
And
big
then
bar
like
hop event like
everything
all
in
over
between
town.
that
So I'm
is
doing
like,
that for my
oh, well, there's not
birthday.
really anything going on, no
You know,
holidays, right? So like
um,
we just ensure
yeah.
that August, September time, and that's whenever like the parties start picking up. So maybe in the next couple months, it might be more frequent, right? But I only do it socially, so like without the parties, like I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, bar hopping is only good when you have the right homies. Um, I will say club probably not my thing. Probably just not my. I did not have like the best time at the club. It's not my vibe. I don't think any of the bars in this town are my vibe, to be honest.
Hmm.
Yeah, they just don't hit right. But I like I said before, I do not dance. I do not. There's not enough alcohol. I'm sorry.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, like there's like definitely like levels to like just how like much fun and how much like extroverted activity I like surround myself
Like
with, and I feel like bar
I
hopping is
will
one of
I
those
I
things that
will
I've
say
always
this,
wanted to
right?
do, but
I love the
I need to
ladies.
find like a
I'm a
particular group of
ladies man.
people that would actually be willing to do it with
One
me.
of my vices, I will definitely admit, but there is not uh there's like zero women on earth who could get me to dance. Like if it was like dance with me or I'm breaking up with you, I'm like, all right, see ya. I don't. I just I yeah,
I think it depends on my mood, like sometimes I'm
I don't
like
know.
really into like the music and the dancing, right? And sometimes I want like a more mellow kind of like scenery.
No,
I don't
it's
dance,
too much.
but
I
once
don't
I
fuck
start
with it. I
drinking,
don't
I'm more
fuck with it
open
at
to
all.
it. And I I really enjoy it. Like it was
I don't
nice
know.
dancing at my aunt's birthday party, and then tonight I was dancing a little bit too. And I'll dance with anybody. I dance with like my grandma. I dance with my
I
sister. I dance with
mean,
my aunt.
I don't
I'll
know.
dance with anybody.
I'm
I'll dance with
maybe it's just
whoever wants to dance
because
with me. I
I didn't drink
just
enough,
I don't say no
but
as often
I
as
I
maybe
don't
I
know.
I
It takes
would if
a
I was
lot.
more
That
sober.
I guess it depends on what I ate and what I'm drinking, and
What's wrong with dancing? I'm telling you, it's. I think that it's not as
I just
bad
can't, dude.
as you make
I
it
it's
sound.
there's no like
Maybe you don't
the
enjoy
liquor
it,
I
but I feel like it's
imbibe
not gonna kill you to
does
just do a
not
dance
like
if like your
th-
girl wanted you to
there's a
do a dance.
line uh
It's like easy. You
where
just
it's
do like a
like
little two
I don't
step,
know, it's very polar where it's like
It's
um
very,
I'm still self-conscious, right? Like
you
I
drink a
haven't
little
lost all my
bit and it
inhibitions
loosens you
yet,
up. That way you can kind
or
of like be
I'm
living like
so
your body
drunk that like
more.
I
Because with
am not
me,
coordinated
I'm
enough
real
for that,
stiff and I kind of,
right? Like
I need to
there's the line,
drink
and
and then
like
it'll make
there's
me a
two
little more
sides, right?
relaxed.
And either way, I there's one side where I won't dance, and then there's one side where I shouldn't dance. And I'm usually smart enough to be like, okay, you're way too wasted to do this. You're gonna fucking fall on your ass and break a hip. Okay.
It's like all like a mindset thing. I feel like,
You're gonna get the
if you really
bursitis,
wanted
as my
to,
mother would say.
you could dance. You could do a lot of things, right? It's like maybe you just don't want it, and that's fine too. Not everybody's gonna, agree on what they want to do. But for me,
If you're
I
at a
gotta tell you,
club
I
when they
really enjoy
play the
dancing,
fucking Cupid
you
Shuffle,
know, and just going from
I
partner
don't
to
know what to
partner,
tell you.
like
That's not a
running
fucking
little
club,
moves.
dog.
It's fun. It's nice.
I don't even. They play that shit at white people weddings, dog. I don't know. I don't believe in it. If I wanted to feel the rhythm in my body, I'd be a fucking drummer, dude. But nobody likes the drummer. I mean, well, some people like the drummer. Nobody likes the bassist. That's yeah, bass. Yeah, yes.
I'm telling you, like a lot of the dances that you might, a lot of the dances that I do aren't like the most complicated ones. I do like the ones that I do a lot of the songs that have dances. Like when the Cupid Shuffle comes on, I'll do the Cupid Shuffle. You know what I mean? Those ones aren't
Yeah,
as
it's brutal.
bad.
It's brutal for bass guys. I don't. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not a
Okay, it's not a club. It's like,
Danny.
and
I've
the
heard
Cupid
you
Shuffle
sing.
was maybe a bad example. The Cupid Shuffle is a little outdated, but still,
I know. Oh, do you not have to? Is it
if a
not like
song
Rock
like
Band?
that though, or like
You don't have to actually
Copperhead
sing.
Road, or
Okay.
uh,
It's all
what's some
Guitar
other
Hero
ones,
bullshit. Okay, okay.
or bachata or whatever comes on. You just do the dance. It's real nice.
Okay.
You feel the rhythm
Okay.
in your body,
Okay.
and you just do it, and it's
Uh
fun.
yeah.
It's nice.
I was thinking fucking like
No.
Rock Band rules. I was gonna be like,
Ooh, bassist is kind of like overlooked. Let me tell you, I play
before my balls
you
dropped,
play
I could
that
nail like just about
Fortnite
every
music
song
festival
from
thing?
fucking Paramore, Eye of the
Like
Tiger,
I
Alice in
I see
Chains.
bass
I
as an
could nail
option on
fucking
there, and I'm thinking to
everything,
myself,
dude.
who will play
Before my
bass? Because they
balls
got
dropped.
lead, they got drum, they got microphone, and then they got bass. And I'm thinking, who wants to play bass out of those four? You have
Wait,
four
this is
like
settled?
badass like parts, and then you have bass.
You still sound fucking prepubescent.
Like I'm lead singer, you know. We got our drummer, we got our lead guitarist. And then
No,
no, I'm talking about like on Fortnite. Whenever
I have a
I'm
very
playing.
limited range, but I feel like show tunes would have been
No, no,
for
no, no.
me, right?
On
Like
Fortnite,
Frank
it's all like the
Sinatra,
Guitar Hero like notes.
fucking Sammy
Yeah,
Davis,
but like
my
it's just
you
you
know,
follow the
that
rhythm of
era,
either
right? Dino,
the vocals, the lead,
Dean
the
Martin,
bass, or the
that
drums.
range right in there,
Yeah,
that's me.
and
That's what I can do.
I usually do vocals, but
I
I
have a
just cannot
very
imagine
powerful,
people that do
commanding voice, but
bass.
only in that small range. I can't go too low, can't go too
No, no,
high,
no, no. I
but
did
in
play
that
Lego
little
Rock
bit,
Band a long time ago, and I
I'm
had
pretty
the
good. I'm very
microphone.
powerful.
I was not
Got big
very good at
lungs.
it though. Let me tell you, I feel like
Yeah.
I had more range before
I
as
would say
well, but
like
I
the
feel like now that
example
my
I would
voice is
give
kind of
is
like
like
more
I wouldn't be
settled.
able to
I
do
have
a
such a
cover
bad
as good
range. I
as
can't hit.
Schlatt, but I could do My Way
I
by Frank
know it's
Sinatra. I
sad,
could do
right?
it.
But I can't hit the low notes, and I can't hit the low notes or the high notes. I'm kind of like in this weird, like awkward
You don't have that
middle
range. You
stage,
do not have that. I'm
and I'm just
sorry.
thinking to myself, man, I'm not built for singing. It's not for me. I wish I was, but I was just not built for it.
You need something more nasally.
Oh, I love Frank Sinatra.
I would say the most impressive thing I can hit is on a good day, if like my pipes are clear, I'm not
Hmm.
congested or anything, I can hit the fucking the high note in Creep by Radiohead. And like the long one, I can sustain it. But it has to be a good fucking day.
Yeah, I'll hear songs sometimes and I'll play them on my car and I'll sing along to them. And there's sometimes where I'm singing and I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm kind of doing it right now. I'm kind of hitting those notes, right?
Yeah, vocal rest, man. That's how it is. Good days, bad days. You know how it is. Um but like
I
my favorite opera singer
I love My
used to
Way. I
always
know all the
say,
words to My
you know,
Way,
I
but
know
I
I'm going to
don't think that
paraphrase
I
here, but like the
have.
true beauty in opera
No,
is you
I don't
do
have
not
it. I
know
love the
if
song.
you are
I'll
going to
sing
hit that
it
note.
along with Frank Sinatra,
No,
but
you cannot predict if you are
I
going to hit that note.
cannot do
But
justice
you
to
go
that
in and you
song.
try, and if you and when you hit it, it's fucking magic, right?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I'm not a
Like,
big fan of a lot of songs in my range,
yeah,
which sucks, you know?
that's what I love about opera. Opera is amazing.
Mm.
Fucking musicals ain't shit compared to opera.
Really?
Yeah, you fucking yeah.
Damn, that's pretty good. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, man. Like some days I wake up and I have like like a
Um,
boost, you know? I'm singing on my way to work and I'm thinking to myself,
I'll tell you
what's
what.
going
I'll tell you
on? I'm
what.
kind of
My
it's doing it.
favorite
And then there's
opera,
other days where I'm like,
if it's ever playing at the
I need to
Met,
be quiet or else
you and me will take a trip up to New York. We'll go see it.
it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You're AMC, right? You have AMC's down there? Stubbs A list? Okay, okay.
Hmm. You see, no, you
That's
see,
fair. That's fair.
I like musicals a lot, but I've also seen like clips of operas and I've seen operas
But
in
you
like
all
a
right,
lot
so
of
they
media,
have
right?
um
And I'm
the
kind of
reason why I
getting into
ask
the
is they
idea of actually
have
going to see
operas.
one because
Like
like
they
every time
do
that
like
that's shown in like a movie or a show, or I
oh,
hear a
what's it
clip of
called?
it, it always sounds
The
and looks so
the
interesting,
ticket
right? Like the
people,
storytelling, like just
the Fandango, whatever the fuck.
the
You
vocal
know,
talent.
like those events.
It's like it sounds. It's just it always
Um,
sounds so good.
it might not be Fandango. It's whatever it is, right? You know what I'm talking about. Like when sometimes when they advertise like before the previews, uh they'll be like, oh, there's like an opera. It'll be on
Of
screen.
course, of course.
You
I'm still
missed
gonna have to
it a
figure out
couple
like
of
what the exact
years
plans
ago.
are.
They
The
did
good thing is I had a lot of time to kind of like
Turandot in
figure out the details with that.
at the Met,
But
and it
whenever
was they
we
played
do
it
that,
very
I'm like
straight.
I'm
But this was in
excited.
like
It'll be fun.
2022.
I'll try to take off a
Um,
decent amount of time. You know.
I went and I saw it by myself. I drove 30 minutes
Yeah,
to
I
go
got
to
AMC.
uh my favorite
No, not
theater,
Stubbs A list. I got AMC
and I went and I
Premiere,
saw it, and it was
which
awesome.
is
It was so
it's I
cool.
got it because
Um,
it waives like the online fee.
Everything
You
was
know,
like
it also lets me go
gorgeous.
into
Like,
that
oh my
little
god. So Turandot is
VIP line
basically
on the
like
side, so I
the
felt fancy when I go to the
cliche
movie
fucking
theater.
opera, right? Like
It's
basically
not A
like that
list,
that's
but
like
it's
the
like the one
basic bitch
right in
opera.
between free and A list. It's like the
Um
middle one.
like if you ask Alexa to play an opera station, it will play the main like the big song from that opera first, pretty much, right? Um and it's but like they played it completely straight, you know. In other like operas sometimes to like put it in a modern setting.
Hmm.
I know that was going to be the next one they were doing. I forget which one it was, but it was like in a modern setting, and I was like, I don't fuck with it. But like they played it completely straight, and the set design was amazing, and oh my god, it was beautiful. So if they ever do what is it, Tales of Hoffman? If they do Tales of Hoffman, I will take you to the Met, and we will go see it together.
Hmm.
That is, or if they do it in Chicago, that would probably be easier. But the Met is amazing. Did you ever go into the Met? Did you like check it out though? Did you like walk past it or something? Yeah. I
Hmm.
yeah, that would be a super cool trip. But I think a better
Hmm.
trip would be the one we're doing in June, my dog. Uh I feel like we should close the episode. We're do our little announcement. You and I we're going to Alaska in June. We're doing a little cruise. We're gonna record it. We're gonna do stuff. We're gonna hang out, and we're gonna see shit and do shit, and it's gonna be really cool. Um, Hell yeah. So yeah, that's our little announcement. We're doing a little Alaska trip in June. Me and Danny. It's gonna be really cool. That's the one we were talking about earlier. But yeah, hell yeah. Um, yeah,
No,
look
I
forward to
went
that
to a
in
couple
like 10
theaters down
months.
there. I did
Or
one off
sorry, it's more
Broadway
like
show and I
9.
did one
Holy
on
shit,
Broadway
that's
show, but I
crazy.
didn't do the
Um,
opera. I want to do the
but
opera.
yeah. You ready to close up shop and go the fuck to
I
sleep?
walked a
Cause it's almost
lot. The
4
problem
a.m.
is
Okay,
that
cool.
that trip,
Um,
I wasn't in charge of planning
Patrons,
it, so
thank
it
you,
was a
Justin
little
Connor, for your
unorganized,
continued
right?
support. We
I
love
didn't
you. We
really get
really
to do as
appreciate
much as
you.
I
Thank
wanted
you.
to.
Keep the lights
I
on.
even
Well, I
thought to
turned the lights
myself,
off, but
like,
you know,
man, if we had 1 or 2
metaphorically,
more
the
days, like,
metaphorical
we really
lights,
could
they're
have
on because of
cracked
you.
this
Thank you.
open
We really
more.
appreciate it. Um, if you want a cool shout out like that, patreon.com/IIHS podcast. Join our $3 tier. If you join our $5 tier, you get an even cooler shout out and access to all these episodes early and ad free. With the $3 tier, you only get access to part
Mhm.
one. So you didn't get to hear any of this. You know, me failing the challenge and whatever. You don't get to hear any of this.
Yeah.
So, you know, definitely get on it. But yeah. Anywho, yep, that's that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Patreon.com
man.
slash IIHS
I'm down
podcast. We also do
for
movie commentaries. That's for the
just
five
about
dollar tier.
anything. You know, I
We have
really
some
want to like
freebies,
make the
but
most of
if
it.
you want the
Let's
good shit,
explore.
you gotta pay up. But there's a free 7 day free trial. So if you don't like it, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. But you're not losing anything either. Um, Other than that, social media. We are at IIHS podcast on Threads, YouTube, Instagram. Um, you know, that's the best place for topic suggestions, Q&A,
Yes.
general channel
It's
updates.
very late.
We try to get these podcast episodes out on the same day over on YouTube. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. We apologize. It's just how it works. But yeah. Anywho, I don't have anything else to add. My name is Kael. I'm very tired. I'm also incredibly influential. Good night. Goodbye. See you next week.
I am Danny, also tired, highly successful.